So maybe you've been wondering if it's actually possible to make money from social media. You've seen this video, you've seen the title and said, you know what, I'm actually gonna give this a go. Maybe you've been trying and it's not been working for you, or you're just starting from scratch. In this video, I'm going to break down one particular social media post that I made that made me over £10,000 for my consultancy business. I have made several social media posts that have made me five-figure amounts, but I wanna break down this specific one for you and the format and how you can use it, replicate it for yourself as well. This is not for people who are looking for a get rich quick scheme. This is people with genuine skill, genuine expertise that want to use the skill set and the knowledge that they have to help the world and actually make some money in the process of that. If you are just somebody who's looking for a get rich quick scheme or trying to scam people, just click off this video. This ain't for you. Honestly, you're just not the person I'm looking for. But before we get into that, I want to let you know the backstory of this post. I'm a Christian. I was at church on Sunday, and believe it or not, my pastor called me out from the crowd. Shout out to Apostle Toby Arami. He called me out from the crowd, and he said he saw me having a consultancy business. And at this point, I didn't have a consultancy. I hadn't actually set one up. And he said some other things, really spoke into that area. And I went home and I prayed into it, and I decided I'm making that consultancy right now. So when I was praying, God, what should I do? Funnily enough, I stumbled on an ad from a man called Brandon Forbes, who I'll put a little picture here so you can see him. And he had this like $30 program. One of the ideas in there is what sparked the concept of this post. I made a promise to God that if I pray and he really does give me the money like I believe he was going to, that I would always reference him when speaking about money. I would never pretend I did this in my own power, my own work. I always had to give him the credit that's due. So thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. All right, now let's get into this post. Let me walk you through this post and then we'll break it down. So first of all, I posted this on Instagram and LinkedIn. I do think many people don't respect LinkedIn enough when it comes to posts, and they need to put a lot more respect on LinkedIn's name. But anyway, so here's the post. You can see a picture of myself. You can see me in 2020 on one side. Believe it or not, I don't even know if this picture was taken in 2020. It was taken around that time. It was just a kind of reference point to show the difference. You can see I look younger, and the caption there on that side says, "What am I doing?" So it's a few words to visually describe what that season of my life was like. I didn't really know what was going on. I knew God had more for me. I knew business was on the cards, but I didn't really understand what was going on. And then 3 years later, you can see 2023 there. You can see a picture of me in a suit. So I'm visually displaying that I look more smart, more together. And you can see below that the gross volume in my Stripe account there from January 2023 to December 2023 is £100,000. Now, this is what you call a visual hook. Maybe you've heard someone use the term hooks before, but just understand that hooks are the thing you use to grab somebody's attention. This is a visual hook because you can look at this and you say, whoa, the question becomes, okay, I got somebody's attention now. The question becomes, what did he do in those 3 years that's taken him from a what am I doing, confused, maybe they're feeling confused, to £100,000 in sales in a Stripe account in 3 years. How did that happen? So it sparks your curiosity. It makes you interested. You want to know more. Now we actually get into the post. Now let's break down some of the concepts in this post, because this post is actually written and structured in a very specific way to resonate with a specific audience that I want to be my clients. And shout out to Brandon Forbes because he definitely helped in this formatting 1,000,000%. So we start with the old Sterling. So it starts with old Sterling in 2020, knowing I was called to more, but not sure how to get there. So why am I starting like that? Because the person that I'm looking to help, they know that there's more in them. Now, first of all, this is a very normal human concept, their desire for more, right? So a lot of people can resonate with this, okay? You may be watching this right now, and you may have clicked on this video because you know that you're called to more, but you're not sure how to get there, right? There's something in us that connects that with people. So many people would resonate with that. And as we go further into the story, they would connect on deeper levels to different things, right? So you want to start with openers that will connect with your audience. Then I started to describe my situation. Working as an accountant, even though every employer I had would always say, why are you an accountant? Not because I couldn't do the job. they could just tell that this wasn't God's best for me. Now, I'm including God because the target audience that I'm looking for are Christian entrepreneurs, right? I want to work with Christians. That's just my preferred way. I don't only work with Christians, but I like to help Christians. I like to work with Christians. I like them to be my clients because we have that basis of belief being the same. So I use words like God, or I reference my faith. Why? Because it's important to other Christians to see when they see somebody outspoken about their faith. Addicted to playing it safe, mainly because I didn't believe in my own skill. But 2020 was the year I took the leap of faith into content creation. I studied how to go viral. I spent countless hours and bought countless products to make sure I could figure this thing out. I started my TikTok, and in 6 months, I had over 1 million likes and 100,000 followers. My Instagram also grew by thousands of followers. By the end of the year, I started getting the question, how did you do this? And big organizations were paying me thousands a month to show them how they could use organic content to increase their engagement and ultimately sales. So what's this whole section about? This whole section is giving you the backstory as to how I became this quote unquote expert that the image has allowed you to believe that I am. So now to some people, 100K is not an expert at all. But to the person who's made 0, to the person who's made 10, 5, 100, makes you look like an expert. So I explained the process. I was an accountant. I wasn't in this industry. I decided to take a leap of faith. Because I wanted God's best for my life. There's many people who can resonate with that. I was tired of playing it safe. Before I was playing it safe, I stopped playing it safe. Many people can connect with the playing it safe line. Then I studied. I spent countless hours, bought countless products, So now you have an understanding that I've developed my expertise. Then I'm speaking to you about some of the results of my expertise. I want you to really look at the structure of this, and you could probably even copy this structure yourself for your own kind of post in terms of your own journey, giving people the key points of your backstory, right? By the end of the year, big organizations were asking me, how did I do this? And paying me thousands to show them how to use organic content to increase their engagement and ultimately sales. And this is all true, by the way. None of this is made up. This is my actual journey summarized. And maybe in other videos, I'll go deeper into some of the parts of these things, right? But now we flip to where we are right now. So that's the backstory of how we got there. Now we flip to where I was in 2023. Thank God we've pushed further than that now. Who knew all of this was on the other side of fear? Now that line is huge. So I hope you can see I'm adding some data in terms of my life, some facts about my life, but I'm using specific phrasing to target emotionally people who may have been in the place that I was in 2020. So playing it small wasn't God's best for me. Who knew all of this was on the other side of fear? All these things are targeting people who are afraid right now. They know they're not living God's best, and they know they've been playing it safe, right? And it's sparking this motivation for them to want to take a leap of faith, like I took a leap of faith. That's why the story is written in this way, because the same way I took a leap of faith in 2020 is the same way I want you to trust me and take a leap of faith now. So now we move on to the new Sterling in 2023. Crossed 100,000 in sales from organic content only. Why is that specific? Because I'm letting you know that I didn't use paid ads. It wasn't this, it wasn't that. This is the only thing I did. And it's an area that many people find it difficult to do. Then I spoke about some of my accomplishments in that space. Helped my wife generate millions of views, growing her community by over 50,000 people. Right, so you can see the genuine skill here, right? You can see genuinely I'm talking about things that I've done. Built an amazing team, getting clients, life-changing results. And I really am doing this stuff. Like be really clear on what you are doing, right? On the big things you're doing. Now we get into this key thing. They've read about my journey, they've read about my process, but now we get into this really key part. What was the change that happened? I'll give you 3 steps. Now, I want you to know that these steps are curated specifically for my audience and specifically for the action that I want my audience to take. Think about the fact that every paragraph here is written not by chance, not by spur of the moment. This is written specifically. Okay, so now when we go through these 3 steps, think about what this may mean for the reader. Step number 1, when God speaks, listen. Have a life submitted to God and everything else falls into place. God had spoken to me. I even made a spelling mistake. Didn't even know. That's crazy. God had spoken to me about content creation from the age of 15, and I only started taking it seriously at 25. So that's me resonating again with my Christian audience. So above everything for us, God first. And so being obedient to God, listening to God, that's number 1. And so I want them to know that that's a priority for me, and that needs to be a priority for them. We resonate in that way. Number 2, this is really, really important. So the first one is to grab the attention of the right people. The second one is a bit more instructional in a way. Step 2, drop your ego and get a mentor. You may know what God's called you to do, but the mentor is responsible for helping you get there. For the reader now, what do you think you want to do? If you want to have results like me, what do you need to do? You need to drop your ego and get a mentor. And if you want results like me, you're seeing my results, then why would you not automatically associate me with being that potential mentor? Step number 3, set a target and partner with God to see its execution. I asked God for 1,000 followers a day in 2020, and it only took 2 months until I started seeing it. And that's real. That's facts. That's truth. Set a target and partner with God and then execute, right? Because you may see step 3 and you may think, okay, I'm setting a target, I'm partnering with God, but I don't know what I'm doing. But then we see this FYI at the end. If you have a good phone, there's no reason you can't make full-time income or good side hustle money using organic content to attract people to your products or services. You just need to know how. Then we've closed by saying comment ready down below if you'd like some help, and I'll personally DM you. Now, this was before I even had, many of you probably heard of ManyChat automations. I didn't have any of these automations set up at this time. I didn't know they existed. So when people were commenting ready, I was really going for every DM. And so the DMs started coming in. People started commenting ready, 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 ready. So this post gained the attention. The people who commented ready were now my potential clients. But now I had to turn them from potential clients into actual clients, right? And this is where this process comes into play. And this was a really simple 3-step process that I used to be able to get them on a call and close them. So the first thing I'll do is I'll get in those DMs and I'll start a conversation with everybody who said ready. I may write something like, thank you so much for commenting ready. Please tell me a little bit more about the issues you're having with your social media at the moment. And they would start to tell me their problems. Maybe they would say, oh, they're not getting enough views. Maybe they would say they're not converting into sales. Whatever they would say. If it's a clear problem, I get it. If it's not, I would ask more questions to get a clear problem that they're having. And my follow-up would then be, so if I could provide you with a clear solution to this problem, would you be interested in hearing it? And of course, anybody in their right mind would say yes, right? Would you be up for booking a meeting so that I can break down the problem you're having and see how I can best help you? And then my next follow-up would be, would you be interested in having a call so that I could break down the problem that you're having and see where I can best provide you with help? And from doing that, I was probably able to book about 50 different meetings. And out of those 50 different people I booked meetings with, I'm going to be honest with you, most of them did not really qualify for the service that I was offering. And, maybe I should have asked a couple more qualification questions that I probably missed out on beforehand because this was kind of still new to me. Out of all of those people, there was a handful, maybe 5, 6 of them that were genuinely in a position to become my clients. And they paid me, $1,000, $2,000. One paid me $4,000, another paid me $3,000. And this is how I was able to make over £10,000 off the back of this one social media post alone. I'm happy to say that I was able to use social media to do this. And since then, I've been able to use social media to generate hundreds of thousands. And soon, we thank God, I'll be able to say the millions as well. I've generated millions for clients, but not millions for myself yet. But this is the formula that I used when I first started my consultancy to be able to get clients, making me over 5 figures from one social media post. If you found this useful, hit that like button, share this with a friend, and please subscribe. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you use this framework to make yourself a whole bunch of money. I will see you again very, very soon.